When the police goes into the subway and makes arrests for musical performance, that's a legal activity. When there's an arrest, it's a wrongful arrest. And broken windows has led to an unprecedented number of artists, performers, and musicians being locked up in New York City. When we talk about broken windows, that's the consequence. It's arrest for non-crimes. In March and April, we saw that there were nearly no beloved performers in the subway. We came out in August to sound the alarm that people were being locked up in an unprecedented way. Just after our appearance, Commissioner Bratton came out to say that the dancers on subway trains should go dance in the parks and plazas. Those were his words of encouragement. The dancers know that when they dance in the park or in the plaza, they will be ticketed or arrested. And at the same time that he made those remarks here at City Hall, the dancers were receiving a ticket in the City Hall park. That's how out of touch he is. There's a citation for that. It's documented by Huffington Post. We have the facts here and the police commissioner does not. The harassment continued. In October, a performer, Andrew Colleen, was arrested for singing and playing guitar legally in the Metropolitan Avenue station in Brooklyn. He was held for nearly a day for something that was a legal activity. That's broken windows for us. We rallied, and I'm going to quote Councilmember Stephen Levin, who said, if this, referring to an arrest for musical performance, if this is broken windows, I want no part of it. And this is broken windows. Arrests for music, that's broken windows policing for us. I want to talk about three quote-unquote reforms that have been proposed. The first one is body cameras. Body cameras have not been proved to bring justice for our communities. At most, they could solve a problem after an arrest or a death. For Eric Garner, they couldn't even bring an indictment. They're talking now about sending 1,000 more cops. The last time they sent more cops into the subway system, we saw an unprecedented wave of arrests for illegal musical performance. This is a bad idea. And finally, let's talk about the CCRB. I was watching Mayor de Blasio's Facebook feed earlier this week when he celebrated a historical reduction in the number of Civilian Complaint Review Board complaints. There has been no decline in arrests. There's been no decline in profanity or violence from police officers. Celebrating a reduction in complaints is preposterous. And the reason for that decline in complaints is that the CCRB in total in the month of July, that's the month I have stats for, their total punishments for the NYPD were 13 docked vacation days. This is reform and this is accountability for the NYPD. As per William Bratton and Mayor de Blasio, they say reform and accountability are 13 docked vacation days for a police department in the country's largest city for an entire month. That's not reform, that's not accountability. I have one message for Police Commissioner Bratton. He talked at his recent NYU lecture about the missing trust between him and our community. We're lacking trust because he systematically lies to us. He told us that dancers could perform in parks and in plazas. That's not true. They were receiving a ticket at the same time he made those remarks. He told us that broken windows is all about targeting crimes like DWI and domestic violence. Look up broken windows in the dictionary or encyclopedia. You'll see that it's about arrests for crimes that cost $2.50 or less. If he wants to build trust, he can start by telling the truth. The other thing that he can do is that he can go to central booking, where the cells are so crowded that there's no place to sleep and the lights are on 24/7. You can go to Rikers Island, where someone was cooked to death this year in a cell that was 101 degrees. If he wants us to have trust, Commissioner Bratton can spend a night in jail and he can see the torture that is inflicted on people for crimes that cost $2.50. Then I will trust him.